Hey everyone, it's Irene from the Field Guide. If I look tired, it's because I am. It's been a busy season. I'm not complaining. I've had a ton of work, but I haven't had a lot of time to do videos, and I was hoping that I would, but you know, work is work and you gotta do it. So I want to tell you the tale of two hunters. Over the weekend, I was in the woods doing one of my projects, and as I was parking, there was another vehicle there that had Connecticut plates on it. These guys were super friendly. They had been hunting in this state land for years. One of them had been hunting there since the 80s when the DOT owned it, before the DEC took over, New York State DEC. I asked them what they thought about the bear situation, because it almost sounds like I'm being paranoid about it, but I'm not, because over the weekend I had another bear encounter while I was working on one of my work projects. They said it's horrendous. Now, these guys were in there and they were setting up their, they had set up their trail cameras. They were in there checking them for any damage or any changes. And they said everything that's showing up on the trail camera is bear. Bear, 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 bear. And when I compare it to what I'm seeing other YouTubers doing, they're seeing deer, in other states, other parts of New York State. So I told them what I had heard, the rumor I had heard about the powers that be doing a bear relocation, and they said, that sounds pretty close to the truth. What they think it is that New Jersey is dumping their nuisance bears in New York, and they did it very early on, because they said the same thing. We both agreed. It was like, it just happened overnight. All of a sudden, there's a bunch of bear out there. I mean, yes, they are indigenous to the area, but to see an influx of that many, I think I put up the article, it might have been on Facebook, I'm not sure if it was in the community page on YouTube, but about a week and a half ago, there was a little boy in Westchester County, New York, that was being chewed on by a black bear. His parents acted very quickly, and they got the bear out of there. Unfortunately, while they were helping their son, the bear was stalking them, so it was still looking for its food source, is what was happening. The local authorities shot the bear, but they said, well, the bear must have been rabid. No, I don't think the bear was rabid. The bear was hungry, and it was eating lunch. That's what it was trying to do, because once a bear bites you, it starts eating. So to add to the tale of two hunters, one of these fellas was telling me he rides his bike. He has an e-bike that he rides through the forest. And back in June, he was along one of the trails that was heavily wooded on both sides, so you really couldn't see into the forest. And when you're on a mountain bike in the forest, e-bike or not, things are moving by pretty quickly. Out of the corner of his eye, down by his rear wheel, he sees what looks like a cub's head suddenly appear. He looks over his shoulder and he sees the cub sort of somersault across the trail and bump up against one of the trees. What had happened was he didn't hit the bear. The bear cub was probably running across the trail just at that moment when he was going through. Like I said, when you're on a bike on a trail in the forest, things happen very, very quickly. They're moving very fast. In fact, I appreciate them, because they do tend to flush out the birds, and I love upland bird hunting, so I really appreciate the bikers in the forest. He sees the bear cub do the somersault. It was kind of like it tried to stop, and it was scared, so it kind of like did a flip. The second after he saw that cub, the mother was on him like a rocket. And he's got, I think you can do up to, he's got an e-bike. He can do up to like 20 miles. But when you're on a trail, you got rocks, sticks. You don't know what's up around the curve. He said, I could only go so fast. He said, I was going as fast as I could without breaking my neck and without her catching me. But he said she stayed on him until he got down. And he said it wasn't too far. He had to go down around a curve on the trail and then down onto one of the utility roads. He said, and then he made a left and he shot right back to the parking lot. But, yeah, I mean, in my entire life, I have never seen so many bear. I mean, maybe they saw me and I didn't see them, But to have all these encounters, the encounter I had over the weekend was a huge plot that I had to survey. And they take about 2 hours because I have to do up to about 40 trees. I have to assess them. I have to take their picture and all that for the data. And it was a really easy one. It was a greenway trail that is relatively new to me, but I could park on the opposite side of the road, just walk over, and there was a trail that went right through this ash plot. And I thought, oh, this is great. You know, it's going to be convenient. And then if something happens, the car is right here. The whole time I was doing it, the car was within sight. As soon as I got in there, after my first 3 entries, I heard a little noise off to my left into the forest. And I thought, all right, that sounds kind of light. Could have been a squirrel. Let's see what happens. 5 minutes later, I hear a dead tree come crashing down. I said, I'm not taking any chances because what I've learned is that that's the calling card of a black bear. So the car was right there across the road. So I just scampered through the weeds and into the car, sat in the car, turned on the AC because it's been awfully hot and humid here lately. And I sat and I waited and I watched. And it took a couple of minutes, but sure enough, here he came lumbering out of the woods. So, you know, I haven't been in the woods for squirrel hunting. I haven't even seen any squirrels, not even in the yard. I think the hawks got all of them. In fact, I think the coyotes got all the groundhogs too, because I haven't seen a groundhog since early summer. I haven't even seen a chipmunk. I think there might be a weasel in the yard, which has happened before. So I don't know what's good. Songbirds. There's tons of songbirds out there. I am seeing rabbits. Haven't seen any in the state land. Not yet anyways, but I'm hoping most of my projects should be complete by October 1st. Might go a little longer, but I'm hoping to get out into the woods. But after what those Connecticut hunters told me about what they're seeing on their trail cams, I mean, they're like, it's just one bear after another. And they're not seeing any deer, they're not seeing any other wildlife, just bear. And if you're a hunter, you know, unless you're hunting bear, and unfortunately right now it's bear season, and in the southern zone, New York, I just don't have time to do it. I hope there's a lot of them out there who are hunting them, but you know, the hunt's over, you know, if you're hunting for something else, because he's the apex predator. So that's my update, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Please leave your comments. I'd love to know what you're experiencing, especially if you're in the southern part of the Hudson Valley in New York State. And hey, take care. Bye-bye.